Our heroes have desperately managed to make their way back into the present, battle damaged and injured. We bear witness to our defeated heroes now recuperating. Meanwhile, Zamasu's tainted mindset continues to engulf him as he goes to seek answers by threatening the all-knowledgeable Zuno in order to find out where the Super Dragon Balls are. What's going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome to my Dragon Ball Super episode 58 review entitled Zamasu and Black, the Two's Mystery Deepens, as we make our way towards Dragon Ball Super episode 59, which again, keep in mind, there will not be an episode upcoming next week. So in case you guys are wondering, Dragon Ball Super will return on September 24th/25th. There will not be an episode on the 17th/18th of next week. Just let you guys know on that. What a episode this was. Lots of lore building up to Black's identity being revealed, and tons of more info to come. Now please bear in mind, guys, this video will contain massive amounts of spoilers, so if you guys don't want anything ruined for you, simply fast forward the video, go watch the episode, come back so we can talk more Dragon Ball Super down in the comments. Don't cry in the comments about being spoiled by the thumbnail or any of that, because nothing is being said or shown that you guys don't already know. Also, be sure to check out the description down below for lots of goodies, updates, and contact information to where we can interact on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That way we can talk more Dragon Ball Super. And again, quick plugs before we begin. If you guys are new to this channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for all latest and Dragon Ball news, updates, What If Battle, Xenoverse 2, and much more daily uploads and daily content for you all to watch and enjoy. So I thank you so much for supporting the channel greatly, as I always do. Be sure to spread the word about Unreal ENT Gaming. The translations were provided by Herms98 on Twitter, just in case you guys are wondering how I was able to pick up on the dialogue prior to the subs coming out. And with that being said, on to the episode now. We start the episode off with Zuno practically explaining to Zamasu the exact same thing he said to Bulma in the previous story, with Zamasu pretty much telling Zuno, I am a Kaio, and if I wanted to wipe you out in an instant, I can do so. All I care about is those Super Giant Dragon Balls, so tell me how to obtain them, tell me where I can find them, with Zuno pretty much responding by saying the Super Giant Dragon Balls are inactive as of right now. And Zamasu also asks Zuno about the Super Giant Dragon Balls location and also about Goku, and he forces Zuno to answer more than just 3 questions, because we already know that Zuno is just only supposed to answer 3 questions, and Zamasu pretty much raises his hand through his throat and saying that you're going to answer more than just simply 3 questions. You're going to tell me more about the Super Giant Dragon Balls, and you're going to tell me more about Son Goku. With that being said, we pan over back to Capsule Corp, and we see Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. They're all getting some senzu beans, and Trunks explains how they fought both Zamasu and Black, and Bulma begins to chew Goku out because they forgot to, bring senzu beans, and Goku actually stood up ready to fight again, and that's when Bulma pretty much chewed him out by saying you didn't even bring any senzu beans, in which case was kind of funny as well. I'll break more of that down in my breakdown review. But we also see little Trunks ask about Zamasu. He goes, Zamasu is immortal. Is that because he's a god? And Bulma says even gods aren't immortal. So Bulma may know something that we don't. It's kind of hard to really say that gods are immortal or not, because we're not entirely sure if the Omni King is immortal. I mean, it's pretty certain that Beerus and Champa and these gods aren't really immortal, but for Zamasu to be immortal is kind of the question. I mean, we can already make the assumption that he made the wish for that, but nevertheless, Bulma starts to insult Black's name sense and calling the Super Saiyan Rose transformation a joke, and Goku suggests that they fight Zamasu by becoming immortal too, by eating tons of senzu beans, and that's when everyone's like, oh my god, like this guy cannot be any dumber than what he is now, because, I mean, Goku doesn't really have a sense as to what immortality is. He figures if you eat a bunch of senzu beans, you're going to become immortal, because obviously enough, they have the power to regenerate you and whatnot. And we see Trunks tell Mai about the future self and how she's still alive, and we see how Pilaf and Shu are also impressed by this, and future Mai is also super strong as well, and she's actually quite happy that that she found out that her future self is still alive, because we see little Trunks, we saw big Trunks pretty much talk about Zamasu and immortality, and that's when Beerus, Whis, and the Supreme Kai arrive. And obviously enough, they're eating, ice cream, they're eating all sorts of desserts and whatnot, and they call upon Goku. They want to speak to Goku, and Goku shows up with Bulma, and the first person that starts talking is, of course, Supreme Kai, with Whis saying Kaioshin has something to ask Goku, and it turns out that Zamasu had also contacted Kaioshin about the Super Dragon Balls and about Goku. So Zamasu had also interacted with the Supreme Kai, asking the Supreme Kai about the Super Dragon Balls and about Goku without anyone even knowing this. This is why they came, is to tell Goku that Zamasu made contact with the Kaioshin. And of course we see Gowasu, he's brewing up some tea, and he's calling upon Zamasu, but Zamasu is not showing up. Obviously, we go back and forth between Universe 10 and the present timeline. Bulma gets in Beerus' face. Beerus is looking at Jello, and that's when Vegeta comes in and he also wants to ask Beerus something as well. And once Beerus finds out about Super Saiyan Rose, the first thing that comes out of his mouth is "sounds tasty," and Bulma demands Beerus to tell everyone how to defeat Zamasu because nobody else knows how to defeat someone who's immortal. And that's when we speculate that Zamasu is searching for absolute power to enforce his own sense of justice, because we know that Zamasu's sense of justice is completely corrupt. He wants to go on ahead and destroy all forms of humanoids. He wants to destroy Saiyans and all forms of life because he feels that everyone else is unqualified on living because of the habits of good and evil, because of the knowledge that the gods have given humans about good and evil and stuff. So we see that's why he needs the Super Giant Dragon Ball, so he can become, strong like Black to help him achieve his goal, ultimately enough to become immortal. So that is why he is searching for the Dragon Balls. He wants to obtain absolute power. He is power hungry. That goes without question. He is power hungry and he's looking for absolute power. And everyone is asking as to how exactly to defeat him, with Goku speculating that Zamasu indeed had created Black in his own image in order to create this absolute power. So Goku theorizes here that Zamasu may have intentionally created Black to do thy bidding, and Whis actually responds by saying Goku's guess may be on the money, and Whis speculates that Black is a copy of Goku created by the Super Giant Dragon Balls, all thanks to Goku's sparring with Zamasu that made him interested in Goku's power, which is what I was talking about for weeks now, that I believe that Zamasu created Black in the image of Goku to get back at Goku because he was interested in Goku, because keep in mind, he's never ever seen anyone as strong as Goku, let alone being able to keep up with godly power. We heard about, when Beerus spoke about how he was sparring with him and whatnot, so that pretty much sparked Zamasu's interest. And that's when, Zamasu awaits another year to use the Super Giant Dragon Balls to become immortal, and that's Whis' theory, because Whis speculates that Zamasu made two wishes, with the first wish being the summoning of Black Goku, and the second wish being, after a year of waiting, is to become immortal. So that's Whis' theory on the speculation, and Beerus realizes that with the time ring, Zamasu wouldn't have to wait a year. He can just zap straight into the future and make his wish there. So Beerus thinks that indeed Zamasu had made two wishes, one being that he had created Black Goku, and the second wish being that he jumped into the future to make his wish of being immortal. So everything is starting to make sense now. The time ring, the earrings, immortality, Black, and even with Gowasu, we saw certain scenes of, we see Zamasu pretty much killing off Gowasu, grabbing the time ring and jumping into the future. So that could be something that's very plausible, because again, coming up in Dragon Ball Super episode 59 and 60, we see that protecting the Kaioshin Gowasu is critical, because now they figured out that in this episode Gowasu's life is in danger. But Beerus also says that Zamasu is still an apprentice, not a full-fledged Kaioshin, so the odds of something bad happening to Gowasu is very high, because now everyone already knows that Zamasu is after absolute power, and he will do anything, and I mean anything, to get what he wants. And now they're speculating that something like, just Gowasu's life being in danger is at risk now, and that is, Bulma says Zamasu will probably kill Gowasu to steal the time ring to go into the future to make the wish of immortality. So then it seems Zamasu uses the time ring to attack Trunks' future as well. So all of this ultimately points at Zamasu. Zamasu was the sole responsible one for destroying future Trunks' timeline, for jumping in that timeline and causing Black to do thy bidding, to destroying everything. It seems as if the theory here is that, again, he made two wishes, the first wish being for the birth of Black Goku, an evil tainted spirit that looked just like Goku, and the second wish may have been for Zamasu to jump in the future and wish for immortality. So things are starting to get really crazy. We also jump back into the future where Mai grabs Yajirobe, and they're pretty much trying to escape back into the subway system to where nobody can see them, and Whis admits that this theory still, like the overall theory, doesn't quite explain why Zamasu and Black have similar ki. If Black is just a copy of Goku, how come Black has very similar ki to Zamasu? So there are a ton of theories going around between Beerus, Whis, Bulma, and Goku that, even if Black is supposed to be a mere copy of what Goku's supposed to be, then how do you explain their ki being absolutely similar? It just doesn't add up here. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What are your overall thoughts on Zamasu and Black and their ki having to be very similar? Do you guys believe that Whis' theory is correct, that Zamasu may have wished for Black Goku to be resurrected, or at least created in the image of Zamasu? And what are your overall thoughts on Zamasu having to jump back and forth throughout time in order to make the wishes that he had made? And obviously enough, towards the very end, we see everyone arrive, Goku, the Supreme Kai, Beerus, and Whis back into Universe 10, to where they're trying to speak to Gowasu about Zamasu, and Beerus and Whis are the first ones to make contact with Goku. They're talking to him, and prior to that, Mai tells everyone that she believes in future Trunks, and she thinks that he will not give up. And they pretty much ask about him. The Resistance asks about Trunks, and Trunks is gone for now. But the very second he comes back, she has faith in him. But what's even more interesting is once they meet up with Goku, Goku spills the beans about Zamasu being a bad guy in the future, and Beerus pretty much hits him in the head. He's like, shut up, let's just talk here. And right towards the end, we see Zamasu pretty much emerge after bringing some tea, and he's very angry as to what he had heard, and Goku and everyone is shocked at seeing Zamasu emerge with tea and whatnot. So things are gonna get real crazy. Beerus asks Goku about Zamasu's sense of justice, and that's the cue for Zamasu to emerge. And then towards the very end, we see Zamasu welcome everybody just by holding that tea. So again, things are getting really crazy, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. Tune in for the breakdown where we're all going to start talking in the comment section below and speculating as to what's going to happen. Thank you all for watching once again, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more daily uploads. If you guys cannot wait for Dragon Ball Super Episode 59, then smash that like button, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Tune in for more, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Take it easy, guys. Peace!